spent my first 13 years of life in Chattanooga. I'd always lived with my grandmother. My brothers and sisters, along with my mom and stepfather, also lived in Chattanooga. Now, the reason I didn't live with them is a long story. It's not a bad story, it's just a long one. When I turned 13, my grandmother and I moved to Bedford, Indiana, my grandmother's old hometown. The reason I didn't stay with my family is a long story. Again, not a bad story, it's just a long one. Bedford was and is a small Midwestern town in southern Indiana. When Bedford was founded in 1825, the population was 13,000. By the time of the Civil War, the population was 13,000. At the turn of the century, the population had grown to 13,000. By the 21st century, the population was 13,000. And today, you got it, 13,000. Bedford is sort of a static place. The same people who lived there in 1825 still live there today. Well, that's a bit of an exaggeration, of course, but not by much. Bedford is located halfway between Louisville, Kentucky, and Indianapolis. Louisville, where they have that horse race, and Indianapolis, where they have that car race. By the way, it's Louisville, not Louisville or Louisville. Bedford is known as the limestone capital of the world and is surrounded by limestone quarries. Limestone from a nearby quarry called the Empire Quarry was used to build the Empire State Building in New York City. Now, Bedford just sold them the stone. They didn't build a dang thing, but they're still proud of it. I went to Bedford High School, and we were known as the Stonecutters. Bedford was the place of the cutters, not Bloomington like in the movie Breaking Away, about a bicycle race known as the Little 500. And get a load of this young Dennis Quaid. What an outrageous display. Now, I did love the music in that movie, one of which was Mendelssohn's Symphony No. 4 in A major, Italian, Opus 90, Allegro Vivace. Remember, I told you that I had been a music major? Don't get me wrong. I'm not making sport of Bedford. I loved it. I don't believe there is anything like going to high school in a small Midwestern town during the late 50s and early 60s. Now, this is Leonard's Drive-In, where on Friday and Saturday nights we drove around and around and around and very seldom bought anything. We called it cutting the quill. Now, where that came from, I haven't any idea. It's sort of like Ewortney, that we were very fond of blurting out. Again, I haven't the foggiest notion what it meant or why we said it. Anybody out there knows, please drop a comment. We never got into any trouble because we didn't know how. I lived in Bedford until 1969. I was married and had a son by then. After we moved to Indianapolis, the population was 12,997, until the Johnsons and their son Bobby moved in on the same day. All in all, I lived in Indiana from 1957 until 1991. I was a true Hoosier, but still proud of my Southern heritage.
Someone once described a Hoosier as a man in a blue serge suit bouncing a basketball while hunting for mushrooms in the infield of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And you'd have to be a Hoosier to understand that.